Hello, I'm Richard, this is Sir Onlin, and this is Fallout 4 Private Army. In the last episode we joined the Brotherhood of Steel, and in this episode we're going to go on a mission for the Brotherhood of Steel to wipe out some super mutants with a large amount of nuclear warheads. Seems prudent, and the Major is not particularly keen on the Brotherhood of Steel. She's very much against their principles and their methods of working, but she's here just to find out exactly what they are interested in, what they're doing, in order to find out a way to defeat them. Let's go and find a super mutant, shall we? Right, this time it worked.
Welcome aboard, Knight. Target acquired. I'll try and keep him in your sights.
We've beaten up that guy. And it appears everything outside. So now just pot around, pick up all the odd bits and pieces, and then head into the place proper. Oh, that might be useful. Probably going to have to move away from. Probably have to go and move away from metal armor sooner or later. Oh, what I wouldn't give for the nice strong fat man right now, eh? Later.
No green stuff here. A noise?
Wish a buckethead would show up. I'd rip his legs clean off.
Perhaps a tea.
What? Who's there?
Who's there? It's them. What time to die?
This is so violent.
Blue, we're not alone here.
Yes? And all the little things go in baggies for evidence.
You guys!
I knew it.
Everybody wants a piece. Missed. I'm more interested in the blood codsworth, to be fair. Seems to be an awful lot of that. Oh, too late.
Got it.
Nice.
And here I am with no duster.
Don't need that. Don't need that. Do need that. I dare say this will give me the safe. They're testing power armor. 51B. And of course the Fat Man. Oh, sorry. And a month before the bombs fell. Enough nukes to reduce this island to ash, eh? Shame if an accident was to happen. Don't know whether I can organise that though.
Mr. Handy, a feather duster, and say what, 100 years, and this place would be. Right,
Mustn't forget that.
Reading that now.
Ah. Now that might be interesting. I could use that. After you. No, I've got push, have I? Go on. There you go. Out, 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 out.
What? Who's there? Oh, ears like pricks on me again.
Such disarray, I wouldn't know where to begin if I had to clean up this mess.
That's Preston.
Into the old world, eh?
The dead should be handled more carefully than this.
Got to agree with you there, Piper. Curie?
That gizmo of yours is buzzing for a reason. Radiation.
I may have detected on you.
What's all
Time to go. go.
You got a line on him?
Considerable damage. Oh no! I have been hit. Your pulse and vital signs are still within acceptable parameters.
Yes, Eureka. And that's how it works. It isn't spring-loaded, much as it looks like one. There's a charge in the mini nuke that throws it out of the launcher. Loads and loads of fat man.
What wonders man can build when they aren't trying to kill each other.
Yeah, this room is a temple to killing each other though, isn't it? I would love to stick a fat man on a fuse in here and see what happens. I really don't want the Brotherhood to get their hands on this, but I don't think there's anything we can do about it. Paladin Dan seems to be somewhere else. Here he is.
Dance.
Look at this place. You must hate these mutants as much as I do.
Why do you hate super mutants so much?
Hate's too gentle a word. These monstrosities are just another example of man blindly taking a step forward, only to wind up stumbling 2 steps back. I've been fighting for years, trying to put a stop to this madness. And just when I thought we were getting the upper hand, along come the synths. I've seen what these super mutants do to people. Can you imagine what the synths would do to us if they ever got the upper hand? It would be Armageddon repeated, and maybe the end of everything that we hold dear. Look, I don't mean to bore you with my rhetoric. I just want you to understand how important these missions are.
How could synths bring about our destruction?
If the synths reached the point where they outnumbered mankind, how long would it take for them to decide we were no longer necessary? They certainly possess the capability to make more of their own kind, so we'd become expendable. And with Institute technology on their side, nothing could stop them, not even the Brotherhood. It's a nightmare scenario almost too terrible to contemplate. Anyway, that's enough of that. What's important here is that you got the job done and secured these warheads. You should head back up to the Prydwen and talk to Maxon. I'm sure he'll want to debrief you as soon as possible. Dismissed.
Captain,
Now that you've had a chance to roam the Prydwen, what do you think, Knight?
where did the Prydwen get her name?
Elder Maxon said he took the name from a work of historical fiction. Something about a man who was destined to become a king, and his journey to liberate his people from tyranny and oppression. Seems fitting for such a remarkable ship, wouldn't you say?
She's very impressive.
Yes. Quite a feat of engineering, isn't she? It took the Brotherhood's sharpest minds over 2 years to design, and more than twice that to build.
Where was the Prydwen constructed?
She was constructed at Adams Air Force Base, just outside of Washington, D.C. There was a vast amount of scrap metal and salvageable components there after we defeated the Enclave. We spent the first 2 years alone gathering the parts. The rest was spent assembling. It was worth the effort. With the Prydwen in our arsenal, we can mobilize our entire division, sending her anywhere that Elder Maxon wishes her to go. Her presence in the Commonwealth ensures that our mission to defeat the Institute will end in victory.
Did the Brotherhood ever build other airships?
There were less advanced versions of the ship built on the West Coast a long time ago. Historical records about their current status are in dispute, but we're fairly certain that they were destroyed. In any event, I hope your tour of the Prydwen helped acclimate you to our way of life up here. I think you'll find that the more familiar you become with both her capabilities and her crew, the longer you'll survive as a member of the Brotherhood. You're dismissed, Knight.
So, bring this one down, there won't be any more.
Outstanding work at Fort Strong, soldier.
So, what happens at Fort Strong now?
Paladin Dance is supervising the transfer of the Fat Man warheads to the Prydwen. They'll provide quite an edge to our arsenal. I've also ordered a detachment to occupy the location, and use it as a staging area to protect the eastern side of the airport. All in all, you handed us quite a valuable location.
It was an honor fighting for the Brotherhood.
I'm glad you feel that way, because our mission here has only just begun. In order to bring the Institute to its knees, we need to use every weapon at our disposal. I try to supply my soldiers with the best. That's why I'm giving you these. Signal grenades can call a vertibird to your location when you need aerial transport. Simply throw one to the ground, and the vertibird will hone in on the unique electromagnetic smoke it emits. Once you're aboard, use the map on your Pip-Boy to interface with the pilot's navigation system, so he'll be able to take you wherever you need.
Thank you, Elder. I'll make good use of them.
I expect that you will. Now, I'm sure you're aware that Fort Strong was simply the first step towards the liberation of the Commonwealth. An even greater task lies ahead. By now, I'm sure you've deduced that our arrival in the Commonwealth wasn't coincidental. We're here because of a unique energy reading recorded by Paladin Dance's recon team. According to our scribes, the reading indicated a level of technology that only the Institute could achieve. The moment this information came to light, our mission became clear. The Institute, and everyone responsible for the creation of the synths, must be eliminated at all costs. To accomplish this goal, we need to locate the Institute's headquarters. I've had our scribes meticulously searching the Commonwealth, but they've come up empty-handed.
Where do I start?
I want you to get out there and become our eyes and ears on the ground. You seem to have a vested interest in locating the Institute before we met, so I'm confident you'll travel in the right circles. If you discover a way in, I need you to report it to me immediately. Any questions, Knight?
Any suggestions on where I should look next?
Your meeting with Dr. Amari seemed fairly telling. If the Institute has the capability to teleport its synths, then we're in for quite a fight. There must be a way to tap into the teleport signal, and your mysterious lead in the glowing sea could provide us with the answer. If you need any assistance mitigating the radiation in that godforsaken location, speak to Proctor Tegan. I'm certain he'd be willing to help.
Could those mysterious energy readings that Paladin Dance's recon team detected be related to teleportation?
The level of technology that the Institute possesses is far beyond our own, so we're not certain. However, that would explain why the readings are so random and short-lived. I'll have our scribes focus on improving our scanning techniques to learn more. Anything else you wanted to ask, Knight?
Aren't there any pre-war records about the Institute that might help us?
Our records indicate that the Institute was born from the remnants of a pre-war educational facility, the Commonwealth Institute of Technology. The ruins of the facility are at the center of the city, but we've already searched them thoroughly. The location appears to have been abandoned long ago, so it appears that the trail ends there. Anything else, Knight?
Not right now, Elder.
Very well then. Dismissed.
We must talk. You are so very, very distracting. You know this, yes?
I am tempted. I am very tempted.
I have time. Let's talk.
It is a personal matter. My control of feelings is worse than before. And you are no help. With your teasing of poor little Curie. But it is not just you. Sometimes a simple compliment, nice hair, and I am flustered. Confused. Other times, People suggest the strangest and most lurid things, and I am even more confused. Why do people do this?
It's all part of being human.
How do you get anything done? Oh, I must get a handle on this if I am ever to advance my experiments.
Never forget, you are the eyes and the ears of the Brotherhood. If you see or hear anything suspicious, it is your duty to report it immediately. We live in enemy territory now. Your vigilance could mean the difference between life and death. Understood?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good. Ad Victoriam, Squires.
Ad Victoria. Ad Victoria.
Dismissed.
And they're indoctrinating kids.
One time. The pilot even let me fire the minigun a few times. That was the best day ever.
Yep. It's not a toy.
Feel free to have a look at this. Didn't you want to hear about my experiment?
Technology's in good hands with the
Feel
Brotherhood.
free to have a look at the specimens, but please don't touch anything. I refuse to be held responsible if you're injured.
Are all these creatures yours?
Well, they're an important part of my research, if that's what you mean. I'm on the cusp of discovering how these creatures' bodies have adapted to the radiation that's infiltrated their habitats. If I can crack the code, I can equip our troops with a protective compound far superior to Rad-X.
What do you mean, crack the code?
The genetic code. The DNA sequences that are in every living thing. You see, the ionizing radiation left behind by the Great War kills because it damages most living things on a cellular level. However, after several generations, these creatures' bodies have adapted by altering their genetic makeup to prevent cellular disruption. I believe I've discovered how I can replicate that genetic restructuring rapidly. Instead of decades, I can do it in moments. For a short period of time, anyway.
Why alter it for a short period of time? Why not do it permanently?
Attempting to alter the genetic code permanently? That's too close to what happened with FEV and Spawn, the super mutant. I'm not willing to take a chance like that. I wish I could show you a sample of the compound, but unfortunately I've hit a stumbling block preventing me from synthesizing a sample. The specimens I've already captured can only produce so much blood and genetic material. If I try and harvest too much, they'll die. What I need are more samples of blood from the creatures roaming the Commonwealth.
Will I get some of that new compound you're developing?
If I make a breakthrough, you'll be the first person I give it to. After I've tested it on myself, of course. I've modified your Pip-Boy to scan the corpse of any freshly killed creature that has the proper type of blood in its body. All you have to do is pick up any viable sample and bring it back to me. Hey, I really appreciate you doing this for me. It's nice to know I'm not the only person in the Brotherhood with an open mind.
The Institute giving machines free will? My programming says that's monstrous.
Yes, but if you were programmed a different way, you wouldn't, would you?
Excuse me, Paladin Dance.
Ready to continue our mission, soldier?
That depends. How are you feeling?
My power armor systems are within normal operating parameters, so I'm as ready as I'll ever be. You just give the word, and we can begin our mission.
Ready.
Roger that.
Dance.
Valentine. Don't worry, boy. I'll make sure this soldier comes home alive.
Oh, the Brotherhood's got a lifetime supply of nuclear ordnance thanks to you. I expect you could use a resupply after a scrap like that.
Have anything unusual?
I have some special mods I've been working on. Sort of a hobby I have to pass the time. Real high-powered stuff. Slap a few of them onto your weapons, and I am pretty sure they'll put a smile on your face.
Let's hear a bit more about that extra work you mentioned.
Hard to resist the lure of extra caps. The food stores don't replenish themselves, so I need legs on the ground to hit up farms in the area. We'll be requisitioning a portion of their harvest, and I need that food crated and ready to go for when I send out a collection team. Your mission will be to ensure full cooperation of the civilian farmers, by any means necessary.
Any means necessary? You're giving me carte blanche on this?
You said it. Like they say, if you aren't with us, you're against us. Think you can handle that?
I'm in.
Good. You'll find the farm on your map. Don't forget, you get their cooperation by any means necessary.
How can a machine believe it's alive? It's ridiculous.
Oh, why didn't I have my weapon in my hand? I could blow her head off. Yeah.
If you need a little extra persuasion to help with those farmers, I've got plenty of tools here.
Oh yes, let's see about those mods you've got. That's not a lot of interesting ones, is there? No, I think I'll do all right without.
The Commonwealth can take a real toll on you if you let it. I've seen this place make monsters out of men.
Yeah, so definitely
Oh God.
not a good idea to do any more missions for the Brotherhood of Steel. They're as bad as raiders. Right, I've painted the armour a hot rod red, which will give me more agility and reduce my strength. However, I am significantly overweight at the moment. I think it's time I went into Demolition Expert. I'd like the throwing arc, but fair enough. I am starting to need more armourer, more gun nut, and some science. But you'll have to wait for another level.
Hey.
Do you think we're ready to retake the castle?
Yes, Preston. Yes, I think we are.
Let's do this.
We'll do some recon and meet you outside the castle. See you there.
A lot of my cases dead end in Boston Common. I prefer not to join them.
Welcome, Patriot, to Boston Common, the start of the Freedom Trail. Feast your ears and learn more about the historic Freedom Trail, and learn the history of Boston Common.
I'm interested in the history of this place.
Let us go back hundreds of years. It is the year 1775. For 7 years, thousands of British soldiers have camped on this very soil in their orderly rows of tents, led by General Thomas Gage. They seek to quell the growing tide of revolution the night of April 17.
The officers are assembled, General Gage.
4 days prior, I received word from the Earl of Dartmouth. We have our orders. Lieutenant Colonel Smith, gather 21 companies of our best men and carry them with the utmost expedition and secrecy to Concord. Once there, you will seize and destroy all artillery, ammunition, provisions, tents, small arms, and all military stores.
But what of the colonists, General?
Take care that the soldiers do not plunder the inhabitants or hurt private property. But we can and must defang them.
So, near midnight, Colonel Smith marched with 700 redcoats to face brave American patriots in the Battle of Lexington and Concord, and thus the Revolutionary War began. Continue on the trail to walk through more of our great city's history.
Tell me about the Freedom Trail.
Starting here at Boston Common, follow the red path as it winds its way through our great city's streets. Markers on the trail are placed at many famous historic sites. see Paul Revere's house, the Old North Church, the Old State House, Bunker Hill, and many more.
Well, that is interesting. And there's the red path. So maybe the railroad is somewhere along there.
Welcome.
Follow the Freedom Trail, it said. There's a problem with this chameleon armour. If we aim,
The detective's life isn't an easy one, but
there's
it
no
rarely lacks for excitement.
aiming at all with it. Your weapon disappears. If I switch to the sniper rifle, that works okay. But the combat rifle with its reflex sight, combat rifle with its reflex sight doesn't. It's impossible to use. So I am going to find somewhere to come back to, and then I'm going to get rid of it as fast as I possibly can.
What a time to die!
They never just want to talk.
Survive the hostilities. Dangerous. Combat is quite vigorous exercise.
There's something I'd like to discuss with you.
Of course. What's on your mind?
Thank you. This isn't a formal meeting. I simply want to clear the air. I think we may have gotten off on the wrong foot when we first met, and I feel like I owe you an apology. Expecting you to embrace the standards of the Brotherhood without having a history with us was unfair. And given that you've adjusted so well to our beliefs, I don't think I needed to push so hard.
You worried that I'm gonna quit?
No. I just felt it was the right thing to do. When I was an initiate, my sponsor was Paladin Krieg, toughest squad leader I ever served with. He was a model soldier, embodying the values every trainee was striving to achieve. Fiercely loyal, secure in his beliefs, and brave to a fault. From the moment I was assigned to his squad, I was singled out. It felt like he was pushing me harder than the rest of the team. I fought by his side for years, and we had some seriously close calls. But he never explained to me why I was treated that way.
Did you ever ask him why?
I'd considered it, but unfortunately, I never had the chance. After I was promoted to Paladin, and I'd moved on to my own squad, I received word that Krieg was killed at Adams Air Force Base. The news was like being kicked in the stomach. I mean, I'd lost some of my brothers and sisters before, but his death, well, it really got to me. It's taken me a long time to realize it. But the reason Krieg was so tough on me is the same reason I'm so tough on you. It's because I believe in you. And I don't want to see any of your potential go to waste.
What happened at Adams Air Force Base?
Back in the capital wasteland, the Brotherhood was at war with a traitorous group of rebels who called themselves the Enclave. They maintained a mobile command post at the remains of Adams Air Force Base, just outside of Washington, D.C. The Brotherhood spearheaded an assault on the command post, which was ultimately successful, but costly. Quite a few soldiers died in that battle, and Paladin Krieg was among them. He made his mark on history, and whether you choose to believe it or not, You have the potential to do the same.
I believe you, but it's not with the Brotherhood.
I'm flattered that you have so much faith in me.
You've earned that faith by your own hand. Well, I've said what I had to say, and I hope that it meant something to you. I trust you'll keep this in confidence, of course. Some of that information was of a personal nature, and, well, I'd like to keep it that way.
Excuse me.
Everyone's here, General. There it is. Pretty impressive, huh? Its real name is Fort Independence, but the Minutemen always just called it the castle. Now you can see why I wanted to take it back.
Maybe. Those walls could definitely use some work.
I'll admit, it's seen better days. But the Minutemen have never been afraid of hard work. Our primary objective is to clear the courtyard. That's where we should see the most opposition. The wall on this side is the most exposed. But if we circle around south, we could also reach the main gate.
What are we waiting for? Let's just get in there and shoot those lobsters.
No. If we split up, we can flank them from both sides. It'll be like shooting fish in a barrel.
Why not let them come to us? We set up a firing line on this side and you can draw them out.
Well, General, what do you think?
Set up a firing line, and I'll draw them out.
Really, Mum? I'm not sure that's the safest course of action. For your well-being, of course.
Sounds good. We'll hold back and wait for them to come to us. Just don't get yourself trapped in there. All right, people. You heard the General. Let's move out. Try not to draw their attention until we're in position.
This is the old Fort Independence. Nostalgic tale.
Wait.
Over there! Get him!
Knock it off.
Looks like they've been hit. We're gonna have to take out these eggs, or they'll be back before we know it.
Looks like the hole up inside old Joe.
Your pulse and vital signs are still within acceptable parameters.
Right, before I talk to Preston,
What the hell is that?
Whatever you find, don't forget to share.
Let's see how you like one of those.
I can wait all day for you to show yourself.
Alright, good work people, but we aren't done yet. The General and I are gonna have a look at the radio to see what shape it's in. The rest of you, clear out any remaining Mirelurks or eggs you find.
Get rid of this before I make a serious error.
Let's go see if there's anything left of the old transmitter.
There certainly is.
I can't believe we actually managed to...
Once I power this up, we'll be ready to broadcast. Seems to be in working order.
Oh, trouble at County Crossing. Right, are there enough people here?
I'm new around here. I wanted to introduce myself.
I just wanted to say thanks for the opportunity. So let me know if you have anything you need me to do.
As a matter of fact, yes. It's not ideal, but there aren't enough people at Hangman's Alley at the moment.
You gotta help. My sister's been kidnapped.
Who kidnapped her?
They said they'd be back for the ransom in a few days. If I don't pay up, they'll kill her. But I don't have that kind of money.
Do you know where they took her?
I'm pretty sure. I'll mark it on your map.
Don't worry. I'll get her back.
Thank you. Thank you. I didn't know what I was gonna do. Just bring her back safe, okay?
Oh, the federal ration stockpile. Well, that's one to do next time, isn't it? We've beaten the castle today. Probably want to put some defences up around there. But I sort of ran out of ceramics. So came over here, did a bit of, created this supply line. So next time we go back to there, there'll be plenty of stuff for us. In the meantime, over this side of the map, this young lady is wanting some help with the raiders in the federal ration stockpile. I think I can sneak into there. So we'll try that next time. Until then, this is Sir Omlin, I'm Richard, and this is Fallout 4 Private Army. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.